Hi. So tonight I'm going to make something very quick, very easy, a real comfort food and flavors that I love. And I'm going to be using the Instapot, which is, I think, one of our most awesome tools in a plant-based lifestyle. And we're going to be making spaghetti. So we're going to make spaghetti and all in the Instant Pot. And it's packed full of vegetables and really flavorful. And let's just go ahead and get started. Alrighty, this is my Instant Pot. That's what I call it, but it's really a pressure cooker. Mine's a Cuisinart, but I know a lot of you have the same similar type of thing, and they work pretty similarly, and they are just awesome. And this is a very quick and easy meal on a busy evening. So I like to put extra vegetables in this. So we're going to start with some zucchini, and I'm using freeze-dried vegetables tonight, but you can also use frozen or even fresh if you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a cup of zucchini. Looks like I got the oxygen pack there. I just opened this zucchini. This is what it looks like. This is the Thrive zucchini. So I'm going to use a cup of that. This is because the original recipe that I was given uses ground beef, and obviously we're steering clear of that. So I changed it to be full of vegetables, and it gives it some good texture. Now, if my kids were still home, I would take all of the vegetables that are going into this dish and I would powder them, because then they would still be in there, all the nutrition would still be in there, but they would not know it. And I used to do that back in the day. I used to powder everything because then they would happily eat it, not knowing that they were getting all the vegetables. The other thing that we're going to put in this spaghetti is mushrooms. These are the mushrooms. If you follow our recipes, you know I am quite a mushroom fan. So I put mushrooms in a lot of things, which is good because mushrooms are so good for you. So I'm going to put a cup of mushrooms in as well. You can just put those in dry. We're going to add just a tiny bit of extra water in the end to refresh those. And then I am going to put in some spinach as well. So the spinach, I'm not a huge greens fan, so I'm going to go ahead and break these up a little bit so that it's smaller pieces in there. You can just put it in how you want, and you can put in how much you want. I know I'm kind of just reaching in that can there, but this is just for us, so I'm not going to fuss about that too much, but I am going to put in some spinach. Again, if you follow us, you know that I try to put greens in everything because I don't like them, but my body needs them. Greens are probably one of the most important things that we can eat, and we should be having plenty of greens every day. So I put them in everything. And with the freeze-dried, it's easy to sneak in, but you can use any kind if you'd like. So once we have the vegetables in there, we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings, and I'll show you what we have here. We just have some Italian seasoning. There's a teaspoon of that, half a teaspoon of garlic salt, half a teaspoon of half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm going to add those in. Then I'm going to put in our water. So I have 4 1/4 cups water here. So that's what we're going to need for the noodles and the vegetables. And then it's time to put in our spaghetti. We use whole grain pasta. I've just got the Walmart brand here. I have some brands that I like even better, but this is what I have on hand today. So that is what we're having. And so I'm going to use the entire pound of it because I love leftovers. You know, I love leftovers because I hate to cook. So even a recipe as easy as this one, I like to have leftovers. This also freezes well. So you're going to break those noodles, And then you're going to sort of fan them out and layer them. And it doesn't have to be precise or anything, but you don't want them like poking out of the upwards, if that makes sense, because you want the sauce to be able to kind of sit on top of the noodles. So I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get this in there. Actually, I think you can probably see it. There is what it looks like, what our noodles look like. Let's see if I can get that back there. Okay, now all we have left is the sauce, and I'm using a 24-ounce jar. Again, just the Walmart brand. Now I know that sometimes you want to be a little more careful with your sauces. You want a little less sugar and no oil. That's not something I fuss about, but if that is something that you really want to focus on, then by all means use any brand sauce that you would like. I'm always trying to keep things inexpensive, and I don't feel like the little bit of sugar and oil that are in the sauce is going to be prohibitive, especially for the good that is in the dish. So that's how we feel about it. So this is a sauce that I'm using, just the traditional pasta sauce. And what you want to do is just pour that on top of the noodles, just like to cover them. It's okay if you have a few that aren't, precisely covered. And then that is all. That's how fast and easy that is. So then I'm just gonna grab our lid and make sure that the pressure is on there. And then I'm gonna come around here and turn on it's gonna be high pressure for 7 minutes. And we'll go ahead and start there. And we'll come back in a minute to see how that looks. This is going to be 7 minutes high pressure, and then we're going to do a quick release, and then we will be done. I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. Okay, the cooker just beeped, so it alerted me that it's done. You can see the pressures. The time is up, so now we're gonna do the quick release. So I'll release the steam. Ooh. If you can see that, the steam coming out there. Always takes a little longer than I think it's gonna take. But while it's finishing, I did forget to mention when we were putting everything in the pot, you can put any vegetables that you want in here. So you can add peppers and onions and just green beans, anything that you want to throw in the pot to kind of ramp up the vegetables and and the taste as well. So these are just the things I've gotten in the habit of using for this particular dish. But in the past, I have done onions, peppers, and everything that I just mentioned. So even more tomatoes. So you can definitely make this your own and customize it however you'd like. And the more vegetables, the better. So, okay, it looks like this is finally depressurizing. Okay, now I'm going to pull this off. It's still kind of boiling down in there, if you can see. So now give it a quick stir. Get those noodles completely covered and all of the spices and everything mixed in. This smells so good. All right, we'll dish some up. There's what it looks like, all stirred up. And then I'm gonna put this in a dish and put some of our vegan Parmesan on it and show you what that looks like. Alrighty, here we have it all dished up. You can see zucchini chunks in there, mushrooms, some of our spinach. Now we're going to put on some of our vegan Parmesan, and most of you are probably super familiar with this. This is such good stuff. Let me grab a spoon. This is, you just make this in a food processor, and it's cashews and nutritional yeast and garlic and is it garlic salt? Garlic powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt, and you just pulse that until you have this. And if you haven't tried this before, you need to try it. It really is so tasty. So it finishes things off perfectly. Everything from pizza to, we make breadsticks with it. And it's the perfect thing for our spaghetti. So there you have it, our Instapot veggie spaghetti with vegan Parmesan, and it tastes amazing. Have a great evening.